Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The show is about to begin. Keep showing up.
Broadcasting from the capital of sports, it's the Matty B Show.
Nasty!
Right here on Epis
Nasty?
Sports Radio.
We're about to get mental. It ain't mental Mondays, but I'm getting mental today. Episode 23.
Very deep is right, hits one deep to left field.
On Epis Sports Radio.
And that's with the ball game.
A 60-point game for Kobe Bryant. It's up by 3. It's over. Eric Decker.
We need a channel. Kobe B. Bryant, Knicks fans. We need some sparks. It's time to get mental. Matty B. All right, that's right. What's going on, everybody? Episode 23. How you doing? It's your boy Matty B, Epis Sports Radio, episode 23. The ghost of Reggie's past haunts MSG once again. Knicks fans, how are we feeling? Oh, I feel you. 110%, baby. I know today was rough. You didn't want to get out of bed. You thought it was a bad dream. You didn't even... how could you fathom what possibly transpired in last night's game? I can't. We're going to break it all down. We're going to talk about it. I'll show you some footage throughout the show. We'll recap the game a little bit. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't decide to take me down because, they're just grimy bastards. They don't want to let me play highlights all the time. But, Dub, what's going on, bro? Nasty in the chat. How we doing, everybody? Whether you're coming from us from Twitch or YouTube, we appreciate you. As always, keep showing up. It's the motto of the show. We got an action-packed hour, maybe an hour and a half, I don't know, until I get hungry and I decide to leave and get off, and because I'm just disgusted. All right, absolutely disgusted. Dottie's in the house. What's going on, Papa? How are you? All right, we're going to talk later, all right? But what's going on? I hope you caught that. I hope you didn't catch that Knicks game yesterday because we're all devastated about it. I know you've been rooting for the Knicks as well down this playoff stretch. Everybody's hurting today. I feel you. If you need a therapist, reach out to one, okay? Because I certainly do. I don't know. This is my therapy, at least. I just made a short video I recorded right before the show. A little crunch time. All right, that I'll be releasing later on today. So please check out for that on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. I'll be posting it shortly after the show. Got to do a little editing, So we're going to get it there. But it's a feel-good message. Well, kind of a feel-good message going into tomorrow's game because, again, quite possibly one of the biggest letdowns ever not only in the Knicks history, but in sports history. I mean, it's up there. It's one of those types of moments. Because the Knicks seemingly had this game in hand. 5 minutes ago they were up 14. I think even 16 at one point. And then, the second coming of Christ arrives, apparently. Lord baby Jesus himself. He is him. Aaron frickin' Neesmith decides I'm better than Steph Curry. I don't, I don't know who the hell he was channeling at one point. It'd be nice if, somebody stepped up and just, gave him a little punch jab to the throat. Maybe after the third or fourth three, you start to realize, all right, this guy's clearly not going to miss. So you got to do something, OG, me and Mikhail, little freaking, as he's coming around a pick, little, just a quick little check, maybe throw him off his game a little bit. I don't know. Because it didn't matter anyway. The guy was going to just make everything down the stretch. And then, of course, you got to have this sweet little baby face. I don't know. I hate his face. I can't stand him. Halliburton with the ridiculous heroics. You know, you think he's going to drive in, but you know damn well he's going to circle back out towards the end there. Last second shot. I'm kind of surprised that Indiana didn't call a timeout. They had a timeout there, and the Knicks had a foul to give, I believe, which matters because they really could have stopped that type of momentum and just said, hey, kill a couple of seconds, foul, let them reset, you know. I guess it gives them more time to plan, but maybe it throws them off their initial plan. It kind of just seemed to me like, all right, like as Dottie's saying, they got lucky. You know, inbound the ball, get it to Halliburton, let him go take up court and do his thing. You know, and that's essentially what they in, but I'm not going to knock the Knicks defense. You want to make sure you don't foul in that type of situation, right? You know, there's so many other things you can knock. You know, OG not hitting the free throws when it mattered, right? You know, the team in general, they didn't shoot well. I'll pull the numbers up, but they didn't shoot well from the field, from the free throw line in this game. You know, which is a huge problem. And it wasn't even coming necessarily from Mitchell Robinson. You know, they weren't, Indiana wasn't doing the whole hack of Mitch. You know, so but Mitch only playing 21 minutes. You know, they got to get him in more. I'm trying to find the free throw numbers right here. Let me pull up the whole box score for everybody. But, you know, it's crazy. You know, OG, again, you know, one more free throw right there down the stretch, and it changes everything, you know. And that's not the only scenario. Again, you know, how about you just make a freaking stop? You know, like I said, it's ridiculous. Offensively, they were there. It's just defensively, they were blinded, you know, being in foul trouble. Brunson having 5, you know, Indiana knew that, and they took advantage of that, and it really killed them, even though even in overtime after, you know, we find out that Halliburton's potential game-winning potential game-winning 3 wasn't a 3, and it was only a game-tying 2, and they go to overtime. Knicks, nice little hot start. They score early there. But then it just seemingly falls apart again. Dottie, what are you saying over here? He was hacking. MF turned on aimbot. I don't know what that means. Oh, you're saying that he turned into a bot. Yeah, absolutely. That's what it felt like. It was just unstoppable. Green lights all day. You know, just ridiculous. We're gonna play it for everybody, so we'll get the highlights up here. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. Maybe I could do the last couple of minutes of the game. But you know, again, where's the heart in this Knicks team? You know, I gave them so much praise coming into this game and into this series, and without question, even after the result of yesterday, they are the better team. You know, it's not always the case in the NBA where the better team wins. Boston was the better team in the previous series between them and the Knicks. Without a doubt. But the Knicks found a way to win. They played them hard. Obviously, some ailing injuries, Porzingis with the illness, Tatum eventually going down. But he was there when it mattered most early on in that series, and when those games were pivotal, you know, them dropping 2, you know, it was 2 of the worst letdowns in their history of the franchise in games 1 and game 2. But where's the freaking heart here for the Knicks? You know, how do you let it? You know, I spoke about it on the previous show on episode 22. Check it out if you haven't already done so on YouTube. You know, Dub and I are talking about it, and I'm telling him, like, I don't want to hear about Reggie Miller anymore. Every time the Knicks are in the playoffs, Reggie's doing a freaking broadcast, especially if they're playing Indiana. We've seen it last year, right? When Indiana knocked him out, and it's just nauseating. I just don't want to hear him relive his glory days and talk about it, even though he freaking lost that series. But he loves to remind Knicks fans of when, you know, he did the seemingly impossible. And then Neesmith comes out and virtually bests him. and one-ups Reggie. Not necessarily in total points, because Reggie had 25 in that fourth quarter, and what was it, like 8 points in 9 seconds, right? But Neesmith had 20 points in the fourth, but all of it seemingly coming down the stretch there, 6 for 6 from downtown in the fourth, tying league record. Steph Curry, all the peeps, right? Very little words for it. I don't know where to go. It's just, I'm still at a shock. I'm still at a loss. And again, you tip your hat to Neesmith, you tip your hat to Halliburton. As much as, he pisses me off, he's the easier villain when in comparison to him or Trae Young when it comes to the Knicks. But, that hurt more. That hurt more than anything. And it really set the tone for this series, and now I'm legitimately worried. I think you got to look at Game 2 as, people say this all the time. They say with Boston, whenever the favorite team loses Game 1, it's a must-win. It's must-win. I truly do believe Game 2 here is an absolute must-win for the Knicks. They lose this, and this series is over. You can kiss it goodbye. They're not finding a way to come back. Because to be so demoralized in that type of fashion, in that way, after Game 1, when I'm here, I'm listening to it in the car. Gino, what up, Gino? I'll get to you in a second, baby. All right? Gino, if you want to call in, babe, all right? The lines are open today. We are debuting the phone lines, all right? Gino, you're here with me in the chat, so if you want to call in for a quick little 2-3 minute, you got something to say, by all means, I'll give you my number, and and I will we'll do the thing, bro. I'm losing my words, but and now I'm losing my train of thought. Hold on, I gotta calm down. Let me take a sip. Let me cleanse the palate. This is how crazy it is, folks. All right, if you're joining me from YouTube or Twitch, appreciate you tuning in. Seemingly like a lot of you are here. It's around dinner time. What's everybody having for dinner? Dub, Gino. Game is 4 quarters and an overtime. No doubt, baby. They beat the Knicks last year, so they were always a problem. Yeah, I know. Knicks were talking like it was a foregone conclusion. They... and Dottie's saying they need Rob Dillingham. They do need Rob Dillingham, all right? They need some vigorous, young energy in that lineup. Somebody needs to just throw... They need a Rob Dillingham to come in, maybe like a Kolek off the bench, and just take one for the team. Just straight jab to the throat, all right? Neesmith can't be hitting 6 straight threes, all right? After the third or fourth three, jab right to the jug. Boom. All right, just set the tone, right? That ain't happening. You take the technical, fine, that's all right, give him possession. But you set the freaking tone. Let's bring out the New Yorker in this team, all right? We need something here in game. That's the type of energy I need in Game 2, all right? Again, I said it before. I will be coming out with a video tonight after the show. I recorded a little short video. I'm going to splice it up a little bit, make it look all nice. But this is going to be the rallying cry going into Game 2. All right, we need this type of New York energy because I don't know how you come back from Game 1. It's beyond me. Oh, man, you guys are killing me. Not Dillingham, W said. He's too shifty. They need something, man. They need to do something, all right? You need to find a spark. OG not missing a layup and a free throw. And I said that, Gino, you're right. Make a freaking free throw, right? Do something, make your layups. It's like offensively they were good in this game, so I'm really not going to harp on that too much. But again, it's easy to point out down the stretch. And what are the freaking numbers? I keep on forgetting to put it up here. But I think W was telling me they were shooting 75% as a team right there. Team stats. Hold on. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up for the folks right here. All right, what we got? Both teams 51% from the field, pretty good there. 3-point. Eventually, the Pacers scored them in the 3 points, so they hit 15 as opposed to the Knicks 11. But Knicks were leading in that category, I believe, in regulation, or at least before frickin' Neesmith turned into the second coming of Christ. Free throw percentage, there you go. 70% for the Knicks. And, Indiana didn't shoot well from the free throw line either. 75%. But, Knicks, inexcusable. 70% clearly not going to get it done. And, in crunch time moments when you need it the most, they fell up short. Man, I didn't even realize that Brunson had 43, but it makes sense with overtime, right? And, again, little pre-teaser to the video that I'm releasing tonight. I'm calling for Brunson in this game minimum of 40 points. And I know he did it. He showed up offensively the whole night. He's got to really figure out this foul trouble issue. We've seen it with Boston in the last series. That cannot continue to happen. You need to understand how valuable you are to the team and not make those simple mistakes. All right, listen, if it's got to mean that you don't just commit a foul every now and then, you let a guy walk on through, all right, fine. But I'd rather you have a foul to give down the stretch late as opposed to, being just completely incapable of playing defense because you're scared to commit that sixth and final foul. And now, you put your team in a huge hole where you just, can't come back from. It's unacceptable. It can't happen, and it was early. I don't exactly remember when he committed that fifth foul, but I would think it was early fourth quarter. I don't know if anybody in the chat remembers there. It's just inexcusable. Either way, it can't happen, man. It just can't happen. 194 shots between both teams, Dub's saying. Yeah, they're throwing it up, man. Turnovers. Gino's talking about turnovers. Absolutely. What were the turnover numbers? Total turnovers, 15 for the Knicks. Points conceded off those 15 turnovers, 27. I mean, that's the game in itself, right? Sloppy play down the stretch there. It just, and it was really, I would think a lot of that came in the fourth. Again, it just it was almost as if the loading screen is going and they just forgot how to play basketball. And another thing, how do I send subs? Thank you for that, Dottie. I appreciate that. I don't have the sub set up. There might be an option for it. I'll try to send it in the chat here. There might be an option. I do have, if you go, Dottie, if you go to the profile page, we have the donations, but I don't believe you can gift a sub to anybody, but I really do appreciate that. That's awesome, man, that you want to do that. So, well, now that you say that, I got to get that set up. So, I'm going to get in the lab with Zero, talk about it, and, allow you guys to, subscribe to the channel, give some subs to other viewers, and, give you guys little special promotions, little perks along the line, things like that. It's time to get that set up. We are Twitch affiliates now, so yes, we are eligible. I just haven't put in the application for it, so you know what? You give me that reminder to do that, so I'm going to get that done. And right now, yeah, I don't even know. I could try, but I don't think we're set up for it. So, and Zero streaming at the moment. So again, Dottie, really appreciate that. It's cool of you. We'll try to get that going. We'll try to get that going soon. Maybe I'll see what Zero's doing this weekend, and maybe I'll find a time. We did, actually, me and him did schedule a little meeting, so maybe we could squeeze in time for that as well. So, yeah, man, it is time, Matty. Thank you, Gino. I know, it is time, man. We're getting crazy. It's been a wild journey now. We've been going since February of this year. And, the viewership, the subscriptions on YouTube has been nuts. We're We're nearing 3,000. Am I ready for it? Gino, I don't know, man. You know, I tell you, at first, I don't think I was. I think I'm more ready for it now than I ever was. But no, it's kind of moving a little too fast for me. I didn't expect there to be such a quick jump. Just getting on today, it was like, you know, I kind of like felt the pressure, felt the need. Like, oh, I got to get on. You know, like I got to get on. There's too much going, especially with the whole Knicks thing. I mean, that's been, you know, I guess the whole rallying cry of Epis Sports right now. We're really reveling in this Knicks playoff run. And it's a bit, you know, along with what, you know, what's other New York sports with Mets, Yankees. But the Knicks is definitely, you know, the main topic. And what a time, right? You know, it's just so freaking exciting. You know, who thought, I didn't think the Knicks would still be here. I don't think anybody did. You know, me and Dub were talking about it all the time. We didn't really think they'd get past Detroit at one point there. But, you know, you got to revel in it. And again, yeah, I'm trying to keep up, but, you know, the momentum's great. And honestly, you know, it's because of guys like you, Gino, you know, Dottie, everybody showing up, doing their thing. You know, all members of the Shiv Nation, you know, shout out to them. Just really getting this off the ground and running. And, yeah, man, you know, big shout out to my co-host, Tubby. You know, I remember when, you know, we were in my cousin's apartment in the Bronx, you know, pre-recording these shows, you know, posting it in such a raw, you know, way. And, you know, I loved doing it back then. We had so much fun with it, and it's just changed so much now. And it's ever changing, man. You know, it's easy to like criticize and get caught up, and you know, get a bit discouraged at times. So it's nice to have that reassurance, you know, to keep going, like you said, Gino. So I appreciate you. Because it's tough, man. In a world where, you know, sports media is just ever flowing and, you know, it's hard to keep up, man. A lot of these top streamers or content creators, you know, it's just go, 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 go. And they have a team of people doing things. You know, I was just hanging out with my brother Zero yesterday, in PA, and we're talking about it. We're just having a discussion and how you can't like compare yourself to others. You know, we're on our own path, we're on our own journey, doing our thing. You know, and we gotta, you know, keep that in mind. You know, it's just not. It doesn't always come easy. There's a process, and this is a part of the process, right? You know, we're here, man. You know, and just enjoying it. You know, so again, I appreciate the support. Let's get some of these highlights up so we could talk more about this Knicks game and get a little crazy about it. 8:30 tonight Eastern time. Okay, you got the other crazy matchup that's going on. OKC, Minnesota. All right, Minnesota's really got to find a way to come back in this game. Okay, this is, I mean, in this series. Because game one, just there wasn't much to write about in terms of that. All right, this was just a dominant performance from OKC, and I didn't expect anything less from them. I just thought that maybe Minnesota would give them a little bit more run for their money. Tonight, again, was it 8:30, right? 8:30 Eastern time, Oklahoma. Right now, ESPN bets is giving OKC a 8.5-point favorite. So they have absolutely zero faith in Minnesota to be even remotely close in this game. So that's a good bet, honestly, not going to lie. I take Minnesota plus 8.5 in this game because they got to show me some fight here. And even a plus 260 money line, why not? You know, if you're looking for a little value bet, sure. You know, take that. You know, and if you know, a little live in-game bet, you know, if OKC takes an early lead, that number is going to jump through the roof. So maybe take that as well. Look out for that if anybody's interested. Give me a second, guys. Again, if you would like to call into the show, anybody watching on Twitch or YouTube, all right, you could either drop a message here in the chat. All right, or message me privately on Instagram. All right, how about this? Just for the sake of it, if you are watching, I'll do this. All right, I'll put my number in the chat right now. All right. So for anybody looking to call, so give me a second here. There you go. And I'll put it in the YouTube chat as well. So that's what we'll do for now. You know, as you know, we go along. Now, if you want to chime in, please don't call me right away. You could text me. I mean, my phone's on silent, so if you call me, I'm not going to pick up right away unless I know you like that. But text me. Let me know, you know, if you got a subject you want to talk about, anything like that. Again, I want to keep it relatively quick, like a radio show, you know, 2-3 minutes at like most. You get in, you get out, unless it's really engaging and I like what you're saying. And I think it could go somewhere. Maybe I'll hold you a little longer. But there you go. Buzz cut. Well, I'm going to get a buzz cut if Ant lose. Man, you should just get a buzz cut anyway. But I'm not doing that. Well, you think, so you're saying you're going to get a buzz cut? Man, why are you lying in that chat anyway? You be basically getting a buzz cut anyway when it's time for your haircut. So that's just the normal haircut for you. What are you saying? You're going to get a buzz cut if Ant loses the series or game 2? You know, because losing game 2 is likely. Well, so is losing the series. But I think, you know, they have a chance to come back in this game, you know, so interested to see what you got to say there. Give me a second, folks. Let me pull up these highlights. You know, usually I got my co-host here ready to go. And I'm able to let him, you know, take the reins while I look some things up. Now, I really want to only catch the end of these highlights because last time I did this, the YouTube stream got thrown off because, you know, apparently I'm not allowed to play the highlights, even though I've done it before. So, let's see. All right, keep that going. There you go. All right, I'm going to pull this over. Let's see. Oh, geez, we got OT highlights over here. Now, I want to go back a little bit further. I want to go fourth quarter. Third quarter there, yeah. It's crazy, too, because these highlights, you know, it's just so long because of how much time it took down the stretch here to even get to a finish. So, right now I'm looking at Knicks 119-105, about 2:40 left in the fourth. Halliburton hits that 3. So that's not a bad time to come in, actually. I like that. Yeah, 119-105, right? That's right. So that's really the one we should be looking at. So 119-105. That was the number, man. And at this point, you know, I'm in the car driving home. I had a long day. I went to go see my grandmother. She's not doing too well. She's in the hospital. Dub, if you want to get on, bro, you can pop in the Discord. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'll pop that up. Let me pop the Discord channel up real quick. I got you, baby. Absolutely, absolutely. We get you in here. Give me a second, folks. Again, you know, anybody in the chat, if you're interested in a topic, anything you want to say, please feel free. Let it fly. I did drop my number in the chat, so, you know, if you want to call in, you know, listen, you don't have to be a radio aficionado. You just got to talk, all right? You got something to say, say it. That's it. You know, even if it's 5 minutes, you know, Tyrese Halliburton goes, suck it. Boom. End the phone call. That's it. Like, we don't, you know, we need this type of energy, all right? Yeah, like I don't, just listen. No, I like to do a little profanity, but let's try to keep it, PG for some of the viewers out there. Dub, I have the Discord channel open. I'm gonna do what I need to do, Pop. You let me know. I'll probably hear you, so we'll get you in there. All right. So any second now, co-host W. Dubois is gonna be back in. All right, he's working today, so he wasn't able to join us off the top. I'm gonna try to get, in the meantime, we'll get these highlights going. So again, 119, 105, 245 left in the fourth, game one, and then this is when it all went to hell. Jesus, tough one.
Three is good. Shot clock at
Yeah,
7.
man.
Brunson with it.
I got you, babe.
He'll make a move, fly inside, and a big basket for Brunson.
Great job changing hands.
And I'm surprised they don't have Miles Turner, the rim protector, on the floor as well.
Neesmith, 3, good, another one from
And there he
outside.
goes. 121-15. The freaking Neesmith.
Pacers, Towns,
Man.
Bridges, Towns to the hole.
You in here, baby. You in here, Dub. Dub, right now we're just playing a little highlights. There's Neesmith again. 123, 118, 34 to go.
When Neesmith's shots are going in, you hear the net just tear. He was on
they'll
fire,
challenge
bro.
this.
On absolute fire.
They will
Oh, my
absolutely,
goodness.
they have to
Oh, my
challenge it.
goodness.
It's a big call.
It is a big call, and they want to get it right.
And it was this,
Well, to me, I thought it's a 50-50
the
ball.
goaltending, right?
It's been deemed that Siakam makes
Yeah.
legal contact with the basketball.
Legal
Dislodging
contact
it.
with the
Any
basketball.
contact
Hold
afterwards
on.
is deemed incidental. It's a successful challenge due to the imminent possession going to
Yeah,
Indiana.
that
I'm
was
gonna stay with you for a little
Indiana
bit, Matt.
basketball
I gotta
sideline
let you.
out of
I'm not
bounds.
gonna stay long. I
It's
want to
a
hear
dead
your
ball
ballers. I
inside.
can't wait.
I don't know what
There are a couple
kind of
ballers.
controversy
Just to be a
there.
fan, I'm just gonna listen to this great Matty B. Put the work in.
It's a
Yeah,
two-point game.
appreciate
I'm having
It's
a
a
great time
two-point
listening.
game
I'm just
with
listening. I'm
22
having a
seconds
great
to go.
time listening.
Smith on the ball.
You kids tune in. You might learn a thing
And
or
it's
two.
picked up by Hart. Now Brunson
Right.
splits the D. Drives, flies,
There you
feeds.
go.
Man, Neesmith, man, he was incredible. Man. You should have asked him if he got the perfect form shooter. Straight up.
Hold on, Dub,
Playoffs
before
is
you go, I'll
92.
pause it here for the people, because I know you don't got too much time. But what would you want to say, my man? First of all, how you doing? How's your day? But I know,
Hey,
how
man.
are you feeling,
Here
bro?
we
Because
go. I'm at the home of the eliminated Magic.
there you go.
And yeah, we're doing some work over here, but it's not for them. But yeah, man, I'm shit. I mean, what a game. Unfortunately, as a fan, as a Knicks fan, oh, wow. Like you said, we were talking on the phone earlier, guys. Matty was like, "Yo, is this the biggest? It's the biggest something of all time, especially in Knicks history." I don't know what it is, because we talk about it. Like Matty said in the title, guy, these were ghosts. I saw them in my room last night.
Yeah.
I was trying to go to bed. I had a 4 a.m. And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to get a bucket to secure it. I just wanted it to be secured. But like you said in these highlights, as you watch it never was like that.
Yeah.
After that 119, 105, they hit the back-to-back threes. They cut it to 8. They got from 105 to 112 immediately.
Yeah.
But guys, Matty, didn't you see how sluggish the Knicks look like that? Right away, Brunson's
did.
falling. They're taking the ball from on the ground. All the 50-50 balls we always get, we're not getting them all more.
Yep.
Hart never put the ball in the basket again after the second quarter. It just everything going good just ended. And my theory on it is just, trying to run up with these Pacers, man. This is a run and gun team. Even if you get a bucket, they are gone. Even on the inbound, they're in transition. They're in transition, even on inbounds. If you hit a three and you can't find your man. Your man is gone. It's like they planned it, Matt. It's
Right.
like part of their game plan.
Right.
And the 194 shots, we don't want to do that again with them.
No.
You know?
Listen, that's the name of the Pacers game, right? And it kind of exposed the Knicks a little bit, especially it's always in question, about Thibodeau running these guys in the ground, and then you get a team that plays deep. they can go real deep if they really wanted to. Like they could go, 10, 10. Easily.
They did.
Right, 10, even 11. Like they got guys, bro. They got bodies, bro.
They're playing guys like Shepard with 2-3 minutes to go. I'm like, they don't like. Rick Carlisle was brilliant last night, man.
Absolutely. I mean,
he
listen,
was brilliant last night.
Sure. And Tibbs, somehow, some way down the stretch there, something needs to change. You can't allow this to take place. It's just inexcusable. Because again,
the thing we were talking.
Yeah, you got it. Matty, no, you got it, bro.
All right. The thing we were talking about earlier with Mitch and Mitch not being in the game when we're up 15, 16, 14, 13 points, we need stops. We don't need buckets. We needed Mitch in the game. We didn't start bringing him into the game till we're still started to trade free throws and they're fouling us every possession.
21 minutes, bro. 21 minutes. And the way he's played is, especially going back to last series and everything, I don't understand how he's only getting 21 minutes right now, especially...
21 minutes last game?
21 minutes. How is that possible in an overtime game?
Man, that's what I'm saying, bro.
And
when you look at, as New York Knicks fans, local guys, we try to look at national stuff. Nationally, Mitch has been getting so much praise.
Right.
That's why the Pistons were doing the Hackers. That's why Missoula and the Celtics were doing it. But Carlisle's like, he's going to save it for later. We're not going to use that right now. He's going to wait till they go to Indiana, up 2-0 or up 1-1, and they need the game 3 or game 4, and they're waving their friggin' balloons in the air, and the race cars are here. And they're going to put Mitch at the line. That's when they're going to use it. And
all
strategy, all chess.
And you know what, Dub? Again, he was completely outcoached. Also, in terms of using his depth. I mean, 8 players. He's only playing 8. Why is Achua not getting minutes? Why is Cameron Payne?
As soon as Cameron Payne gets a couple of buckets, he missed the third 3. He never played again.
Cameron Payne's getting 10. Boom. But Payne's getting 10 minutes.
He should get more. He should get 16.
I'll give him credit. He was +5 in those 10 minutes, 2 for 5 from downtown. The guy hasn't hit a 3 in freaking forever. Hits a nice timely 3. Hits a nice timely 3.
That should go in, baby.
But
that ugly lefty jumper go in, baby.
But how is Precious not getting minutes as well? 0 minutes. Precious, healthy scratch. What the hell are we doing, Josh man?
Hart. I love Josh Hart being Siakam. I get it. He could do it. But all night?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
A little bit.
It's one thing, bro, in regulation. But now you're going into an overtime where you got guys with foul trouble.
An overtime, you're lucky. You're in the overtime because of a toenail, by the way.
Like
a toenail.
Yeah.
A fungus on the toenail was on the line. It was so close.
I mean, everybody thought it was over, right? Just you could hear.
Yeah, we all did.
You could hear a pin drop in that building.
Yes. Trying to process it. And by the time we tried to reprocess that, it didn't go in. It was just like it was crazy sports feeling yesterday.
Did you have any hope that sigh of relief? It's not a game-winning 3.
No.
How'd you feel? Because I didn't feel good.
I didn't feel good either. They scored the first 2 buckets in OT. I was like, okay.
Right.
And then they got the ball back. Then they turned it over. They fell on the ground again. Yo, bro, remember that time when Brunson was in the corner and he did that stupid, he tried to throw the ball off bro and he didn't get it, but he ended up getting the ball and he looked at Frazier and Frazier put his arm around him like, whoa.
It
was just so ugly. Yeah.
I mentioned it earlier how, what the hell? And it's not only a Knick problem. It's like a league-wide issue. Where down the stretch in games, why can't teams all of a sudden learn how to inbound the ball?
They don't know.
Anybody run a screen or something? Everybody. It's all of a sudden everybody turns into a little freaking youth basketball team and their first instinct. Oh, okay, let me just run towards the ball and give me the ball. Give me the ball.
And I'm gonna throw it over the guy's head and you go get it.
What
there's
are we
not
doing?
Another guy coming.
Right, what are we doing, dude? It's insane. And the Knicks, they literally it was 2 or 3 times, bro, where they almost threw away the game last night. Well, they did throw it away eventually, but they literally they kept on just giving them more and more chances to here's it was a potential turnover. I mean, Gino said it.
Awful,
Gino said it. Talk about the turnovers. How many turnovers that almost happened that didn't happen that probably should have happened? They really got just fell apart. Like, it was just inexcusable. And, I'm not even going to lie. Like, I caught the highlights afterwards, but I was driving, and I was driving in terrible weather, so I'm hearing all this shit, and I'm just, like, trying to...
Watching that game in that weather.
Oh, bro, let me tell you, I had, like, torrential downpours. It was terrible. Like, I was actually, like, a little scared at a couple of points in Pennsylvania because it was pretty rough weather out there driving. And then you got these big 18-wheelers, like, thinking, like, they're, nuts, going, like, 70 miles per hour, like, it's nobody's business, But, and I'm like, I'm so wrapped up listening to this freaking game, and it's just amazing, man. And of course, the Knicks, right? Like, what was that crazy stat? I don't know, like 414 games or whatever. Like it was like one of those like arbitrary crazy stats that never happens and never should happen. And of course, the New York Knicks, right?
It happens to them. It happens to them.
It's like, what are we?
It always happens to them.
Bro, I was like, they're up 14, and I'm thinking, wow, this is nice. Maybe they could rest some guys, and they did 3 wins away from a freaking finals appearance, and you start to feel really giddy as a fan. And it's like,
and then they bring us back to earth and remind us of the team. What a reminder! They really upset me last night. I'm not saying it's over, even though I don't like how it looks, because losing game 1 ain't. It's we can go look at statistics. It'll then tell you that, but we already know. So, you got to win 4 out of the next 6. It's not easy against a team like this that you're evenly matched.
It's tough, man. It's tough. Again, it's hard to come back from. I'm looking at game 2 like it's an absolute must win. It has to be. I know it's kind of like arbitrary, until, the other saying is until, a team loses at home, like both teams lose at home, it's not a series. So theoretically, Knicks could lose game 2, go to Indiana and shock them on their home court, maybe win game 3 and game 4. How that's likely is the percentages of that happening extremely low.
Right.
And considering how demoralizing game 1 was,
1707.
It's hard to come back. We get. Where are you, bro? You in the freaking store over here? You in line? You getting food?
I am.
What the hell? Hold on. We're gonna quiet and we're gonna listen to W in the store. Strike up a conversation or something. Do some shit. I don't know.
Look, I'm streaming. They're like, yo, you in the store streaming? I'm in the store streaming.
He's like, Ask her, what do you think about the Knicks?
$10? I know, I'm kidding. Yeah, we talking about the Knicks anyway. You don't want to talk about it. Yeah, we ain't talking about the Knicks.
Ask her how her day's going. Everything all right?
Okay, if it's 50 cents left, just give me another number. Just a random.
But yeah, man. Guys.
Big Herm, baby. Big Herm. What's going on, Herm? Guess who's back?
She's playing Lotto.
She's playing Lotto. Okay. Well,
that's why I can't even get out the store, yo.
I hope the best for her and getting her numbers right there, maybe. All right. Could you imagine if that's the chick who wins the freaking?
Yeah.
We find out later. W was standing right next to her, bro.
Right,
get her.
The winner.
Oh my God, Dottie's like, get her number, bro. Get her number.
Nah, Dottie, that's not for me, baby. Okay, 32. Thank you.
Oh, what are you buying, bro? What are you purchasing right now? I think it's
some robot.
Jeez. Listen, easy, all right?
And some other stuff, some smoke.
Get her Lotto numbers.
But no, Bob Marley.
Herm, what's going on, Herm? How are you, bro? How's your day? How's your Thursday? A little thirsty Thursday. How you feeling?
With a hot grabber bottle and give me a Bob Marley.
How you feel? I'm about to mute your ass, bro. All right.
That's it for me. I'm good. No, you guys go ahead. I'm gonna go back in the chat. Get with the guys. I've taken enough of your time, Matty.
Oh, you're good, bro. If you want to stick around for a little while,
you got some great guys in the chat. Get with Herm and those guys. And those guys are aficionados. My services are not required. I'm gonna go back in the chat.
All right, baby. I'll
All right, see you later.
Thanks for joining us for a little bit. I'll talk to you later, bro. All right. You got my man Pots and Pans, W. Dubois, as always, the one and only. Thank you, bro, for stopping in today. I know, he's on break right now, but he's working, doing his thing, so he's not able to join us for the show. But he was telling me, you got to get on, man. You got to get on. You're the people's champ. They want to hear from you. They need to know. They need to hear the reaction in this crazy world that we're living in. This is a Knicks fandom. It's crazy. Herm, Knicks players have all hopes and dreams of all New York City on their shoulders. They do, bro. Absolutely. They better feel that shit. And like I said, I was talking about it at the beginning, at the top of the show. We need, and, I'm going to be posting a video about it later on tonight. We need some New York City energy, all right? I need Tibbs to figure it out. If Neesmith gets hot all of a sudden again, all right, I need Kolek coming off the bench and, just quick jab to the throat. Just set him straight, bro. Maybe a little people's elbow right down below the groin, below the belt. Just make sure that, he doesn't come back for a couple of minutes. I don't know. We just need to do whatever it takes here to win game 2. We need to get dirty. We need to be New York. Listen, I'm breaking out the hands, baby. You know who it is, baby. You know what time it is, baby. All right? Let's break it out. The gingerbread. Okay. We need to do whatever it takes. All right, because it's unacceptable, man. All right, this is somebody needs to get physical, okay? And I don't need it to be Brunson. We need Brunson to stay in the freaking game. All right, relax, chill out, stop freaking flip-flopping and just getting everywhere. All right, stay composed because, oh, man, listen, he is just amazing at times, right? There's just, sometimes it's like it's almost too good to be true. It's like, wow, this is really our player. Like, we really have the best player finally. Because oftentimes it was so used to just, he's just falling up short and, whoever it is, we're putting our hopes in, even a Melo back in the days, although, I love me some Melo. But, it's just like it's always finding a way to just, fall short. We won't quite get there. We don't, and then Brunson seemingly finds a way to make the shot. Although, was he one of those? You know what? We got to roll back the tape because I'm forgetting now. Was he one of those that had a potential game-winning shot? There was like a sequence there right down the stretch where Knicks, again, another opportunity to close the door, and they fall up short. But I'll tell you, it is nice to have really Brunson and do his thing. And, in the losing effort, 15 for 25 from the field, 1 for 6 from downtown. He really struggled in that department. But 12 for 14 from the free throw line, 43 points. Hard to get on him. The 5 fouls is where, it's an issue. 5 assists, which, at times, it's a lot of hero ball with him, pick and roll, doing his thing. But, maybe we need a little bit more of that. Dub kind of mentioned that too. The fast-paced nature of the Pacers game, we got to find more ways to slow it up a little bit and really take them off of their game. We miss a shot, and that's it. Ball is in transition before you could even blink. All right, they are very good at that. They have a lot of players with good energy, high tempo guys. McConnell, just annoying. Oh my God, reminds me of Pritchard with Boston, or White. These guys are moving, and a little bit more with McConnell. The guy's a speedy little fuck. This team is good, man, and it hurts me to see Obi doing his thing. You miss that, you little flashiness. You need that, man. You need that type of guy. That's where the Knicks, it's a different team with the Knicks this year. That's why I miss Dante DiVincenzo. I miss a guy like Obi Toppin. They need those types of guys in these scenarios. The hope was that OG and Mikal would fill in that slot and do their things, and they have, clearly, that we've gotten to this point. But I need a little bit more. I just need a little bit freaking more because shit like what we witnessed last night is not going to cut it. There you go. Let me address the chat before we get these highlights up, everybody. Get this something for you to look at. Herm, did I mention I am a Cubs fan? No, you did not, Herm. Herm, who is your fandom overall? Are you even a Knicks fan? Are you a Knicks fan too? You're a Cubs fan, though. Are you from Chicago? How are you a Cubbies fan? That's a good fan base, though. I accept that fandom. You know, that's a struggle fan base. I like a struggle fan base. You know, obviously, you finally, exercise the demon in the decade. But... and had some success as of late. Team's pretty good. I don't know where they're at this early part of the season. I think they've been struggling quite a bit, right? The Cubbies. Not looking too good, but I'll get back on you that. Years and years of so close. Yes. Well, we all know, I share that with you, my friend. Me being a Mets fan, and a young Mets fan at that, 33 years old. I wasn't around for 86. They're certainly not 69. And, I was around, for the early 2000s and all that. And just, the lack there of heroics, the being so close but no cigar then. And then, kind of similar to this New York Knicks run where you kind of didn't expect it, but they were there. Well, back in 15 and fell up short to a phenomenal Kansas City team. Hopefully this year's a new dawn. But it's a long season. I'm holding out hope. But yeah, man. What's I'm interested. What are some of your other fan bases in all sports? NFL, NHL. What do you got? I'm a Knicks, Jets, Rangers, Mets fan. Like the New York Liberty. I'm all New York, But I have some other teams that I do like to follow up on that's outside of New York that, I take a good interest in as well. SGA has too much aura. Let's talk about that. I know I've just nauseated this whole show about New York Knicks. We're gonna get to that discussion. All right. I know I said it and I keep on doubling back. Let's finish these highlights here. 14, we left off 14.3 to go, 123, 121. Knicks up with 14.3. A lot of time left for 14.3 seconds. My God. All right. And as we know, it goes into overtime the whole night. Anybody that are with us, if you would like to call in, you can do so. I will do it again real quick. Or as I play this highlight, I will put my phone number in the chat, both on Twitch and YouTube. If you like to call in, talk about a little something real quick, not too long. All right, real quick, get in, get out, express your grievances, whatever you got, Let's try to keep it relatively, PG in a way. I know I like to cuss and do all that, but don't get too crazy, all right? Don't be throwing up, motherfuckers, left and right. Let that be to me. Okay, so let me play this highlight for you. I'm going to throw up the number in the chat. Everybody, I'm monitoring you. I'm checking you out.
From the free throw line. Again.
Yeah,
he's got 33.
Video off here.
And a timeout taken.
That Robinson's going to take the ball out of bounds because he's the worst free throw shooter. They can't sub anyone in.
Or he's just going to run down the floor because you can't grab him.
1 point game, Hart to inbound. Brunson's got it. Oh, throws it away, but picked up right there. Anunoby, and quickly fouled by Siakam.
Wow, what a missed opportunity there by Indiana.
Indiana with it.
125, 123. Here we go. Halliburton pulls back out the three. An absolute devastation.
All I would say is when you did the choke sign, your team had won. His hadn't.
He was ticked off. He thought he had gotten the three away and in. Towns and Turner. Good looking shot. Karl Anthony Towns.
So OT, goes on, 127, 125. This is what Dub and I were talking about. Nice little start for the Knicks here. Beautiful pass from Hart. OG finishing with the reverse layup, 129, 125. And here it comes. Halliburton. You know who?
Huge three.
Oh, excuse me. That wasn't Neesmith there. I thought it was Neesmith.
It's
Nimhart on that one. Nimhart all of a sudden getting hot in OT. And again, Dub mentioned it. The Knicks just look tired at this point. Halliburton, great D from Hart, doing whatever he can there. But Halliburton, give him credit. Nice shot. And Obi. Doesn't that hurt? Obi Toppin with that putback. And that was like, you just felt it there. Brunson, beautiful move. There's a little bit of hope, but too much time. Oh, we getting... Oh, no. I can't allow that to happen. Get back to it. 135, 134.
Knicks by one. Halliburton with the ball. There's the screen. Now the switch.
I freaking hate this guy.
Inside. That's for two.
Bad defense. Backdoor, really. Can't let that happen down the stretch.
But I like that rim protection of Miles Turner.
Anunoby. Brunson knocked out of bounds and knocked out there.
Risky pass. And again, Dub, I'll say, you give me credit on it, man. They just look gassed.
Timeout, Indiana. For a challenge.
Look at that Timothy Chalamet over there, the Knicks super fan.
In overtime.
Yeah.
A challenge by the Pacers.
It just hurt, man. It just hurt.
That may have touched.
Yeah, I'm listening in the car. I'm like, yeah, this is
The ball was deemed to last touch
trouble.
Brunson's fingertips. Therefore, this is a successful challenge. Indiana basketball with 20
good challenge there from Indiana. Really, no choice, right? You got to challenge it there. And fortunate enough, here we go.
Here comes Toppin, got it.
That was it. Truly the nail in the coffin right there. I'm getting a call.
Down by 3.
All right, if you are currently watching me right now, everybody, if you are calling me and you're trying to call in for the show, text me first. I will see.
Just give him the ball.
Dylan's got a topic.
And Towns fired it. And the game is over, and Indiana has won, coming back and captured game one of the Eastern Conference Finals on the road.
Anybody calling from YouTube or Twitch, text me first with a topic, please. I did just get a phone call. I don't mind putting you on the show. Just text me or drop a topic in the chat. Appreciate you. Mooncakes dinner is out of the oven and ready. Ooh.
We've had to win in so many different random.
All right, I can't leave this guy's face up here. Get him out of here. What is this? I don't need that on my screen, or we need to listen to that. All right. My dinner's ready, so I don't mind taking a couple of callers. All right, Dill, I got you. Give me a second there. Sir. Hermansky. Is Herm calling me too? Oh, you guys are killing me now. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second, folks. Give me 1 second. All right. Herm, if that's you. Everybody's calling me now. Everybody's getting excited. Oh, look at that. Damn it, man. I can't believe that, man. I apologize to the YouTube viewers. The stream was taken down again, man. It's crazy how much time they do not let you to go. That sucks. But anybody that's with us here at Twitch, I know you're fine. The stream's still up. So, hang with us. We're gonna close out the show with the Twitch viewers. Appreciate you. I apologize if you're watching this in post for the YouTubers, man. They're a little sensitive around this time, so I gotta keep it real quick and short with the highlight videos because they are so quick to take this crap down. It's insane. Even though it's just a weird guideline, it's illegal in general to use copyrighted content, but if you're using it for commentary purposes, it's tolerated, but not all the time. So it's just a fine line. I'm trying to still figure it out. So I apologize to those. I don't know if the stream's still up or coming back on YouTube. I don't think I can really get it back. All right, Dill. All right, Herm. I got you, Herm. I got that. Herm, you're, I'm going to cue you up in a second. All right, Dill, I'm going to call you now, get you queued up. Oh, look, he ain't picking up. Dylan, if you ain't ready, and that's how that's going. I'm going to call you one more time there. Is the live stream back up and ready, people? Are we good? Anybody coming from YouTube? Okay, the live stream on YouTube is up, so thank you to the YouTube gods for somehow for somehow so I almost said it again, for somehow letting us continue to stream. I like to call in addition. What now, Nasty? What are you talking about? Call time, yes. Dylan, are you with us? All right, you need to speak up a little bit. What do you want to talk about, my friend? You are live.
Right, so what I think about the Knicks and Pacers is that the Knicks are just kind of like playing around right now, and they're going to make a comeback. And what the thing is because they're letting them go by with all these points and all that. They're letting them go by with 2 games. But I promise you, the Knicks are going to come back with mad energy and mad defense, and they're going to try and get in their heads, and they're going to make all the points trust.
All right, I don't know about them playing around, but thank you for the call, Papa. I'll talk to you later. I will see you tomorrow. Love you, kiddo. Appreciate that. That's my son, by the way. Dottie, for those that are in the chat. So very cool of him being the first. And you know what? It's a bit fitting, right? Let's have my son be the first caller ever on Epis Sports Radio, Epis Radio in general. So very cool with that. Listen, they're definitely not playing around, okay? That was not just, let them take one, okay? That's not how that goes, all right? But I hear you. They need to come back. I think they will come back, and in a big way. And, you know, for all our sake, we sure as hell hope so. So I appreciate that, Pop. I will see you tomorrow. All right, we got to talk. Dylan sound like he's 29 years old. Yeah, you know, he looks like, he's got the height of a 29-year-old, that's for sure. He looks like he's still, prepubescent, but, in some ways. But, yeah, man, he's got that voice. The balls have dropped, ladies and gentlemen. He is of the age now. Jeez. All right, Herm, I got you. Who else was calling in before? There was another caller. I got Herm's caller ID somehow popped up, so I knew I got the Hermansky popped up, so I knew that was Herm when he was calling. But somebody else, if you're there again, I haven't received a text or a message privately. I'll try to reach out to you real quick. Or maybe that was Herm calling. Real quick, everybody, I'm just texting that other caller. Love this, man. This is a beautiful addition. Herm, I'm going to be shooting you. So, look out for that, Pop. All right, make sure he's getting on the call. I think we got Herm there real sick. Let me just make sure. Herm, just hang with me real chick. No chicks on here, nephew. Whoa, what did he say? I'm 16 for any girl that want to hit me up. All right, yeah, we don't need that. Okay. No, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Whoever it is, I don't care. He is not 16. He's a liar, all right? He's 13. And, no. Call him in, 10 years. All right? You need to take a chill pill, sir. All right? No, there'll be no chicks on here. Trust my aura. I'm going to sense them. No. All right. Do we got Herm? Herm, are you with us?
How are you?
I'm good, man. How's everything? Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, from one Matty to another. Dubby got me. He's a good buddy of mine from back in our Navy days. Talking all kinds of sports. So, jumping on and seeing him doing his thing here too with you. That's pretty cool. So you asked earlier what my sports teams are.
Yes,
I'm from Omaha. I'm from Omaha. I grew up watching the Cubs with my grandma. So
I hear the accent. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I've lived in Virginia for 25 years now. So.
That's probably what I'm hearing then. Okay, yeah. I was like, there's some southern accent, but is it? Well, where exactly in Virginia are you?
I'm near the naval station.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah, they got me stuck here. That's
So what are
I'm a girl staying in town.
So what are all the fan bases that you follow there? What's your team?
Blood's thicker than water. So I'm a Huskers fan, obviously, being from Omaha.
Okay.
I root for Creighton basketball.
Okay, gotcha.
It's so weird, but yes, I can. I get to choose who I root for, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
So Creighton is in Omaha. My dad was a graduate there, so he's a graduate of Nebraska as well. So, but yeah, so those two.
Gotcha. So it runs deep.
What's that?
It runs deep a little bit then. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. No doubt.
And the Cubs thing is, I grew up watching on WGN with my grandma. I'd come home from school. All their games were on in the afternoon. We just sit and watch a Cubs game together. So there's that.
Yeah.
She was the first person I called at 1 o'clock in the morning when they won the World Series in 2016.
Nah,
she
that's
picked
amazing.
The phone right away.
Yeah.
And, so.
I could only imagine how that felt. And honestly, watching it for myself, just as a baseball fan in general, I had so much joy experiencing it from a second hand, from just not being, that of that fan base, but it was just pure joy and just a jubilation for a fan base that I know, it was the longest standing curse, at the time, and it just, a curse that you just didn't think would ever come to an end. It's just phenomenal, man. Now the Mets are starting to get up there a little bit. I'm like, okay, it's. We got to win one at some point, but it's a beautiful thing, bro. Anything else you got to say about, Knicks game, anything playoffs, anything going forward, sports related, non-sports related? What do you got to say?
Coming from a Cubs fan perspective, rooting for the Knicks because I know how it feels.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the Cubs did the same thing. They went down 3-1 in that World Series and came back and won it.
Yeah.
So just keep your head up, man. These guys are going to keep playing. They kind of let the Pacers back in the game, and the Pacers took advantage of it. I don't think that's going to happen again. I think they're going to learn from that mistake and put them away.
Yeah, no, I sure as hell hope so, Herm, because I don't know how much more I could take this. We've been through the ringer, especially these New York fans and these New York, basketball fans. It's clear, it's evident. The city needs this. We need this. When the Knicks are good, we feel good, and it's just been so long, and especially in my lifetime, where that has been the case. Bro, I appreciate you being a supporter of the show. I appreciate you coming on. You are officially the second call-in person. So, that I will cherish that forever. Somebody that's not related to me as well. So you're the first person that's related to me to call in. So you're technically a 1A caller. So we appreciate you, Herm, as always. Keep showing up, man. And I hope you call in sometime soon, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I appreciate you, bro. Beautiful thing. Love it. Thank you, Herm. We appreciate you. Dub did have a question for you. Sorry, Dub. I did see that, and I kind of cut him off there. Herm, if I know you're probably still with us here in the chat. Answer, Dubby. He's asking if you miss Baez. I could have gotten you on there. I'm sure he does. And it's a rhetorical question right there, Dub. All right. How could you not miss Baez, especially with what's going on with him right now, having a freaking ridiculous resurgence of a year? I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I've seen the highlights. The man, all of a sudden, is unstoppable. And, good for him. He was always the guy, swinging at literally everything. I'm sure he's still swinging at a lot, but maybe this year in particular, he's just connecting a little bit more. Let me see where he's at. Pull that up for the peoples. Get here. There you go. Javi Baez. All right, where is he at? 1.7 WAR. Dub, I know you love that stat. 141 at-bats, 40 hits, 6 home runs, 284 average. All right. So the average, for him, that's good. He, perennial, like, low 200 guy, right? 29 RBIs, 322 OBP, slugging 468, OPS 790. So it's either the numbers are starting to normalize a little bit, but for him, this is a bit of a resurgence type of year. Looking pretty good. The War Gods. Gino, get in here. Oh, man. Yeah. I'm done, folks. Yeah, I need to get some dinner. It's been a good show. Went a little bit longer than I intended on anyway. It's been a good action-packed show, man. But listen, I got things going on. I gotta get a little dinner. How's my audio sound? I'm kind of tweaking everything. And yeah, let me know, everybody in the chat, if the audio is too high, too low with the callers. I'm trying to gauge that as we go. But you know what? For a little test run, not too bad. I don't know if we missed another caller. Again, I did get a call from Florida somewhere. So somebody, maybe it was Gino trying to get me. But we appreciate you making the attempt. Those for the YouTube viewers, again, I know the stream got interrupted a little bit there when we were playing the highlights of the New York Knicks Indiana Pacers game 1. I apologize, still trying to work out the kinks and make sure what's tolerable and what's not tolerable. We are coming to an end, though. It's been a beautiful show, so if you're just joining us now, you can play everything back on YouTube and Twitch. I'll have the post-edited version up a little later tonight. I'll probably set a premiere once I post that video so that you kind of can catch it in the live manner as well and just kind of relive what we were going through as we went through it today. Everybody, great show today. Love the turnout. Appreciate all of you. Herm, Nasty, Gino, Dubby, Dottie, all of you guys, great. Good show, a lot of energy. Again, look out for the little shorts that I'll be posting later on tonight. I'm sending out a rallying cry, everybody. Okay, we need to find a way to win this damn game. I can't stand to see Reggie Miller just smiling over there, just want to wring his neck, man, all right? I can't do it anymore. I don't want to see it again. All right, that little freaking moment that he had with Halliburton at the end of the game. I just want to... Please, Tibbs, do something. OG, Mikhail, little jab to the throat. If Neesmith gets out, if he even hits 2 threes in a row during crunch time, somebody take out his kneecaps. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't even care anymore, all right? Do something, because I can't handle it anymore, all right? I can't. If they lose game 2, that's it. Kiss it goodbye. It's virtually over, all right? I don't want to hear it anymore. All right, I want to hear it. Knee to the nuts. Damn straight. Knee to the nuts. Let's get a little dirty. Let's bring a little old school basketball back in the Garden. Listen, it's going to make for good content, good entertainment. The people will love it. If it results in a win, fine. Listen, Kolek ain't doing nothing on the bench anyway. A little Precious Achua, apparently not good enough for Tibbs to play in a game 1. Campaign's getting 10 minutes, but God forbid we play Precious, who, all season long was just doing valuable things for us, in times in which we need it. But, God forbid we play him here. It's the one thing about Tibbs that I really just don't understand. He's and then he loves playing his veterans, but Achua's been around for a minute, journeyman guy. Play him. Well, you don't think he matches up well? He's a body, dude. He'll match up just damn fine. Give the other guys a little rest. Let Precious throw around the people's elbow. And that's it. All right? That's all I'm asking for. We need a win, people. Brunson, Jabrunski, you listening? I hope so. You're not. But I hope so. We need 40. All right? 40. I accept nothing less. All right? If it's like 30 and your limits are limited, your limits are limited. Your minutes are limited down the stretch. I can't even talk anymore, man. If your minutes are limited down the stretch, which is not really going to happen, because even in a blowout game, Tibbs will run you through the ground anyway. But for the sake of saying it, that's the only way I'll accept 30 points or anything south of 35, okay? I want 40 in this game, in regulation. Win it. You are the best player on the court. I don't care about Halliburton's dream shot. All right, whatever. Great, clutch. You are the most clutch player on the court. Show it. Show up like we always do. We'll be there. I hope you are too. And that's it, man. We better be getting back on this show. When is it going to be? Saturday, let's say. I better be coming on here on Saturday, ready to talk about a Game 3 victory and setting the tone going forward in this series. All right? Because I can't. I got agita just thinking about it. I can't do it anymore, all right? With that being said, folks, I'm going to get this outro queued up. All right? Again, beautiful show. Thank you for showing up. As always, if you haven't already done so, go check out the socials. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications. All right? It means a lot. It helps. Really, smash that like button. We need the algorithm to keep on moving. We need this momentum to keep on moving forward. Big things coming for the show. Dottie mentioned it earlier. How do I gift a sub? We will be doing just that. Getting all that set up on Twitch, YouTube. Well, I have perks for subscribers to the page, the whole 9. And again, going forward, you like to be a part of the show. I'm allowing call-ins. We tested it out today, and it went lovely, I thought. So it's a bit raw. It's a bit unedited, but we'll do just fine for now until we improve and move forward. So that's it, everybody. Knicks are 5-1 in road in playoffs. Bright spot. Yes, indeed. So win a game 2. Get to Indiana. Should be good. All right, babies. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It's been just an absolute great show. Episode 23, episode 23, Epis Sports Radio. The ghost of Reggie's past haunts MSG once again, folks. All right, keep showing up. Until next time, folks. It's your boy, Matty B, Epis Sports Radio. Keep showing up.
Broadcasting from the capital of sports, it's the Matty B Show. Right here on Epis Sports Radio.
All right, for those of you still with us, we are going to raid Zero Sorrow, Shiv Nation, my brother. Say what up, say hello, and introduce yourself. We love to hear from other members of the Twitch community. We're going to send that over. Everybody, thank you for tuning in tonight. It's a beautiful thing. Keep showing up. Until next time, let's go Knicks!
The Jets win in overtime. Epis Sports Radio.